everyone, and this is the next episode of Sports Talk with a Lions fan. You already know who it is. It is your boy, and in this one, this is going to be the first mock draft that I'm doing here on My High Media on Sports Talk with a Lions fan for 2026. So make sure you guys going to hit that like button if you like some of these picks and if you like what I'm saying, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're here. Don't waste your own time while you're here. Go ahead and hit that button. Want to go ahead and start out by looking at the comments that were left on the last video, and that was the bargain basement Brad strikes again. Got a positive response out of this. Got a few views on this one here, so thank everybody that had a chance to check that one out. But Mark Holland 5767 says best free agent signings they have this year. The Lions will be strong this year with a good draft. I like it. I like it. I agree, my man. I think I know who that is too. If that's my dog from work was OG was Mark. And GRH7399 says this GM is a joke. He has to go. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if he got to go. I don't think he's a joke or nothing like that. I think he does some things that I question, but I'm just me and I record in the closet. So there's that. But again, thank all of you guys who took the time to leave a comment. If you like some of these picks, if you have some other picks or some draft strategies or what you think the Lions will end up doing in this draft, go ahead and hop down in them comments and let me know. But let's waste no more time. I'll go ahead and look at this mock draft. So the Detroit Lions originally had 7 draft picks, I believe. They have pick number 17, pick number 50, pick number 118, pick number 128, pick number, doesn't tell me, but the 17th and 41st pick in the 5th round, and number 24 in the 6th round. I thought we had some 7-rounders as well, but maybe not. Of course, a big note is we traded our, I think it was 2 third round draft picks for this draft last year for Isaac Tesla, who we didn't even get to see do a whole lot. But here we go. Pro Football Network. They offered. I like their setup. I like their. I like how they. I like the functionality of their site, and I kind of like the trades that they offer. And I like the. If you want to offer up trades, it's kind of more fun. Like some of the other stuff, I think they try to make it a little bit too much like something. But I don't know. This is just something if you want to do it and enjoy yourself. Like it ain't really hard to figure out anything like that. But again, that's ProFootballNetwork.com. And yeah, let's go ahead and look into it. Made a trade, and we'll get to that as well. But at pick number 17, I give you an inside scoop on my draft strategy, right? We all been talking about fixing the offensive line and fixing the defensive line. The offensive line had, even though we were a top 5 offense last year, we were in the bottom third of on third down and things like that. It's just the offense could move, but it just wasn't. It wasn't as efficient. It didn't click as well as it had in a couple of the past years. But the big key to that would be, of course, is to fix the offensive line. We had the All Lions center, Frank Ragnar, retire, kind of late in the process. So, there were some things about drafting a center or maybe signing a center or something like that. We had injuries and all other kind of stuff. So, it was a challenging year for the offensive line as a team as a whole. I think we fell out of the top 10 against the run last year. So my draft strategy is fixing that up, mainly because in free agency, I kind of feel like they aim at the offensive line as far as making depth decisions with Larry Borum and Juice Scruggs, stuff like that. I'm, of course, signing starting center Cade Mays. And in my draft strategy, in my brain, and if I'm the GM, I'm moving Panay to left tackle, and I'm starting Miles Frazier at right tackle. There's no way on earth that arguably the best tackle in the game shouldn't be protecting Jared Goff's blind side. That's what you're going to tell me the situation is. So I'm going to move Pineda left, Miles Frazier at right tackle, Strebo, Christian Mahogany at left guard, Sweet Mullet at right guard, and new starting center Cade Mays at center. With all that being said, like I said, to fix that run game, first overall at 17, I'm going defensive tackle out of Ohio State. Fuck Ohio State. Kayden McDonald. Gentleman goes 6'2", 320 some odd pounds, close to 330. And everything that they're saying about this guy is he is hard to move. You can't move him. He is an unmovable object. If you're looking at some of that tape there, he can move. You just can't move him. He's gonna move around. He's got some of that what they call dancing bear and all that kind of stuff. This is the guy who played next to our rookie from last year, Tyleek Williams, and kind of unlocked him or allowed him to be the kind of player that he was. Um, as far as I know, some people gonna say you don't draft a nose tackle in the first round, stuff like that. Probably not. They might not draft this guy, but if we want to look at recent trends, last year Miami drafted Kenneth was it Gainwell, Kenneth, whatever it was, out of big dude out of University of Michigan. At I want to say maybe 17 or whatever draft pick they had. So, and I believe this guy is a little bit better than him. Kenneth, what is his last name? I can't remember his last name. I don't put it on the screen, but that gentleman, he was taller, he was longer. This guy, he's what they want to, almost what they call a fire hydrant. He just ain't that short. He's 6'2". He's prototypical size of a nose. Anywhere from about 6'2" ish, about 6 whatever in the hell, I guess. It don't matter the height, but it's just the build and the ability to hold the blocks, and that's exactly what this guy does. Next up, here comes that trade at 50. Well, there was a couple teams that came a calling, offering up some, conies and cheeseburgers and things that I didn't want. But the Houston Texans, shout out to all my people down in Houston. But Houston called and they was talking right. They said, "Hey man, say man," even though that's more Memphis, but they said, "Hey man," and we made that trade. So we ended up trading. I ended up receiving pick 59 and 106 for pick 50 and pick 222. So at 59, I went with a possible Alex Anzalone replacement, and that's Alabama linebacker Deontae Lawson. Gentleman goes about 6'2" ish, 230 plus pounds. Is just a well-rounded linebacker, kind of in the mold of old Alex Anzalone. He can play all over the place, but he can also cover. The main thing in this draft, some of the coverage linebackers or the better coverage linebackers are shorter. My man out of Pitt, I can't think of his name, but Kyle Lewis, I think his name is. He's about 6 foot. A lot of the guys, Jacob Rodriguez, some of those other guys that they are saying are better coverage linebackers are a little bit shorter. Even though 6'2" ish is only a little bit only a incremental amount taller. Every inch counts in the NFL. So I think this guy, like I said, could fit in or fill in some of what Alex Anzalone used to do. And I think he's in the mold of more. He could play all over the place. He could play whatever linebacker's position that you want him to play. But I think he can fit in, especially at that wheel position. The second pick from that draft from H-Town, Hold It Down, was at 106. I took a familiar face, um, edge player from University of Michigan. That's Derrick Moore. Gentleman goes 6'4" ish, 300 almost 260 pounds. Everything that they're saying about this guy is power. This gentleman is a power player, powerful hands, power, just speed to power, all of the power language and superlatives that they say. That's what this gentleman has. He even has decent production and stuff like that. I think he had like 10 sacks last year at the University of Michigan, playing under a former professional football defensive coordinator, and that's Big Wink Martindale. So at least it seems as though he can grasp a pro scheme as far as when it comes to defense. Next up, one of our original picks at 118, I went defensive back out of the great state of South Carolina, and that is Jalen Kilgore. This gentleman is the running mate of last year's sensation from the Seattle Seahawks. I can't think of the man's name. Whatever his name is. The rookie, the safety, number 3. I can't think of his name. Emmanuel and more, something, whatever it is. But this was his running mate. So, everything that guy did, this guy was playing right next to him. He can do it all pretty much. He's not just good in the box. This guy is, well, let me say that. So the gentleman was Nick, that's his name, Nick Emmanuel, or whatever it is. He was more so the thumper. He was more so in the box. He was the star, whatever it is. This guy played the other safety with him. This year he also fit in and played some of that since Nick was gone. But he can do it all. He's we have some question marks or some holes in depth wise as far as defensive back goes. This guy can do it all. He can play either safety and he can cover that nickel. I know we had made some signings in free agency as far as defensive backfield goes, but those were all 1-year deals. So it's leaving a lot of room for somebody else to get on down. Next up at 128, I took that main out of Cincinnati. That's the Godfather, Dontay Corelone. I found this out after I drafted him. That this guy has some a couple medical concerns. He had a lower body injury in 2025. He's had issues with blood clots and stuff like that. God bless you, brother. Hope that allows you to live a long, fruitful life. But I don't care. I watched him play. This guy can actually play, man. I watched a lot of this dude. Man, he's just really good. He is the prototypical nose tackle. He's gonna land up on your nose, and you can't push him off. He's another one just like Kayden McDonald. So as I said, the draft strategies or the theme of this one is we stopping that run. So it's gonna be real hard to run with or to run on a bigger lean or skinny lean now, and Talik or whatever else. I don't want to call him a freak, but then let's say Kayden McDonald, and then you add a player like Deontae Corelone in that mix as well. Doubling up or whatever and up on or defensive tackles at this point, simply because we lost some guys. We haven't re-signed our true nose from last year, DJ Reader. We lost Roy Lopez. We lost a lot of people, and over the years we lost a few guys that were pretty decent as well. And I think this guy fits in one of those molds. So I told you, the double up or whatever you want to say, the double up or maybe even the triple up. So here it is, and this is another big space-eating nose or space-eating defensive lineman, and that's Keenan III. Sorry, Tim Keenan III out of University of Alabama. This gentleman goes about 6'3", 230 plus pounds. And man, he is just every bit of that, man. He's big and strong and tough, nasty, everything that you want out of an interior defensive lineman, everything that you need out of your nose tackle. So again, with players leaving like Roy Lopez and possibly DJ Reader and stuff like that, we're gonna need to replace some of those guys. We haven't made any of those signings yet. So who we think about replacing? Tyrus Wheat or somebody, and there's no disrespect to that guy, but we're gonna need some guys with some more rocks in their pocket, as they say. Next up was another one of our original draft picks. That's at 181, and we talked about this guy all over the place, especially over there on Boss Up Ball Out. But this is center from Indiana, Pat Coogan. The really crazy thing about Pat Coogan is, or what they say about him is that he doesn't have good lateral quickness, but he does. Like every the videos I see him pulling and doing all types of stuff. The stuff that you need that you might need your center to do. So if he don't have good lateral quickness I want to see what good lateral quickness is. And he better be sliding around there like virtual insanity, like Jamiroquai out that thing. But Pat Coogan, like I said, we talked about him a lot. He can play. Get him on the team. Young center to learn and possibly get another contract here. Maybe take the spot of now starting center or projected starting center, K Mays. Next up at 205, I went with a backup quarterback. I felt like we needed one. I feel like they might draft one soon or whatever it is, and that's just to have a backup on the roster. And that's just in case, Jared Goff if there's any mishaps with that position. We did bring back Teddy Bridgewater, and that's an interesting thing about Cade Klubnik because one of his pro comps was Teddy Bridgewater. This guy, he can actually play football. He was a really highly touted prospect coming out of high school. Y'all remember just seeing him all over the place when they was hyping up Clemson and all that kind of stuff. He was also coached up by Dabo. Depending on how you feel about Dabo, at least he was coached up, by a somewhat good coach, college coach. So at least he may be used to taking hard coaching. But the downside of this guy is just inconsistency. Just with a lot of young quarterbacks, and this guy is no different. Struggles with accuracy over the middle and stuff like that. But when he's on, and he's looking like a projected first overall pick, like they was talking about all them years ago. Right or wrong, they did say that shit. But last but surely not least, or maybe surely least, in this one, Mr. Riley Mahlman, and that's the gigantic tackle out of Wisconsin. Maybe I shouldn't say gigantic. Maybe I should just say tall. Gentleman goes about 6'7", 6'8", 310-ish pounds. To me, I'm gonna give him the pro comp, and this should be taken as a good one, but maybe not. Kobe Sorsdahl, who the Lions drafted a few years ago, if he played in the Big Ten. Kobe Sorsdahl played in, I don't remember, like Gardner Webb or something like that. He played at a smaller school, and the competition level is a lot different than at a Wisconsin, who plays in the Big Ten, and the Big Ten being the team who had the national champion out of this year, right? I believe, right? I think. Anywho, but yeah, that's it. So 17 to 213, you got a few mean guys that put on them on both sides of the line. Like I said, the theme of this one is stopping that run, and I think that's what we're gonna do. We added 3 defensive linemen. Four defensive linemen, an edge and 3 interior defensive linemen, a thumper and linebacker, and some other positions. Some good coverage safeties. A good coverage safety and a backup quarterback. So, you guys let me know. Like I said, any of those names out there, if you got some hidden draft messages that I missed, let me know, or hidden draft info that I missed. Let me know down in them comments. Any different names, any different trades you would have did, or any trades that you may have done in your mock draft. Let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.